Good evening, all my friends out there watching, or shall we say, video of our presentation today for Parenting Across Color Lines. We thought that we could reach a lot of people by doing it by video, given that some people are still kind of concerned about getting out and making connections with other people. So today's presentation is going to be, is saying that you love them simply enough? Okay? In our world, the word love is tossed around quite a bit. I love God. I love my partner. I love my child. But intertwined in that statement, especially when it comes to transracial adoption and parenting across color lines, is it really all that you need? Is there something more? Can you simply say that, just let it be love? I know, questions. But I believe that it is something that we're challenged to examine much closer, especially if you're in the role of parenting a child of a different race. Hopefully this presentation will help you to be able to have some discussions around this matter. And in fact, when we come back and we're meeting in person, maybe we can continue a discussion that started from this presentation. So is love enough, or all that is needed? I believe that you must intertwine the idea of love with a strong sense of commitment, perseverance, and dedication to what I will refer to as the process. And within that process, love is an essential ingredient. It is like a high gloss epoxy resin that cross-links commitment and perseverance. Perseverance. Hold on for a minute. Let's go to the dictionary real quick. To persist in anything undertaken, maintain a purpose in spite of difficulty, obstacles, or discouragement. Continually to engage steadfastly, to bolster, sustain, uphold. All signs of perseverance and what one might need when they're in this situation. And add on top of commitment and perseverance, dedication. Acting like a hardener or a curator of sorts, the cross-linking and the interconnection of these three components, and in a sense, the curing of them, hold it all together. So as an adoptive parent, you often want to know how to convey this love. How do you grow it into something that's amazing to behold? So let's look at some ways that you can accomplish this. Let me simply begin by saying that being a part of this group and having interactions and discussions is a beginning step in the journey towards making it more than just love. 1, celebrate the family's diversity and understand the role of love within the family dynamics. It is your glue, but not a glue that you put on and let dry up. It is a glue that if you do it that way, that will fall apart. Put a glue that is forever an active and vital ingredient in your relationship with your family, with your child. And how might you go about doing this? Understand and accept that each member of the family is different and growing at a different pace in the area of diversity and inclusion and acceptance. Add humility to that process. Sprinkle it on. Do not make it a checkbox experience for you or your family members. A checkbox that after we're done, we move on to something else. Wrong answer. Because that eliminates it from being a process, an ongoing, growing, evolving situation. Process. Number 2, not only showing love to your child, but to the family or culture that your child comes from. It's nothing worse than hearing a transracial adoptee saying, you know what, I believe they love me, but I don't know if they like my culture. I don't believe they like my family that I come from. I don't know if they love my people. Now, a colleague of mine who I consulted with when I put this together, Summer, who's also spoke here, added this one. She thought it was really, really important. Another aspect of diversity to consider is the unique experiences from their past. This will play a role in the person, and they will become a member of the family. Understand the person wholly, mentally, emotionally, behaviorally, and how this can foster or be fostered by empathy and the love that you have for your child. She goes on to say, an example, you may love your child, but taking time to understand how they came to be your child and the unique experiences that they went through. She said, really make sure you get across the idea of trauma, abuse, neglect, and the surrendering of the child at birth as significant events in that child's life that have to be recognized. This will help you to feel as though you get it, that you understand, and them to feel like you care and understand. Your actions will be speaking louder than just words. Number 4, understand that love by itself, as challenging as it can be, is not enough. It is not enough. Think about it for a moment like this as you hear me speak. You keep putting the right wood and the right kindling in, and the fire will burn strongly. Not enough kindling and wood, the fire will go out. Understand what the kindling is in that love relationship with your child. And when you and the child are struggling big time, which can happen, fighting, not liking each other, find a way to recommit yourself to the process that I spoke about. The process of commitment, perseverance, and dedication that are once again the glue of love. Coming up with ways to enhance the essential ingredients in the relationship and just not throw the relationship out because it gets difficult. My friends, there will be difficult times in your relationships with your young people because they're going to be challenging. I don't care if they're adopted or not. They're going to be challenging, and they're going to make it difficult for you. But hang in there, and hang in there with the idea, every time we fight, I fight to recommit to the process. Now, 5 things I would like you to walk away with knowing tonight if you were here. 1, support your racial and cultural identity that your young person has. 2, embrace the fact that you are a racially and culturally diverse family. Don't just, we're kind of diverse. Advertise it to the world. Don't be ashamed of it. This is us. This is how we are. When you do that, you instill pride in the young person. Number 3, talk about race. And I mean, really talk about it. Talk about it deeply. Not just a checkbox to what John is saying, but delve into it. Help them understand what can be problematic for them in terms of being a person that is of color. Help them to understand the challenges that come into navigating through some families who don't understand the choices you as a parent have made. Helps them understand that sometimes when they go to school, people are going to see you pick them up, and they're going to wonder, how are you related to that person? Because they're going to ask those kind of questions. Educate them, prepare them, get them ready for those kinds of things. Make a commitment to your community. Now, what do I mean by that? By that, I mean get involved in the community. Just don't isolate yourself out there. Get involved in the cultural activities of the community. Get involved in things at the young person's school, so they just don't see that young person, but they see you as being a parent to that young person. Get involved in a church organization, if that is something is of your liking. And get involved with people like Parenting Across Color Lines who share some of the same values that you have. Prepare your child for what they might face. Now you might say, John, that's a redundant statement. It's redundant for a reason, because you have to prepare, you have to get them ready for what's going to be out there. If you don't, they will walk into a situation unprepared, and that will cause them more problems than anything else. And do not make any of what I said a checklist. Notice I repeated that for the second time. I'm strongly against looking at diversity and doing the work that I do as something that you can just check the box and say it's done. It's never done. Work with diversity never ends, and when you have a child that is of a different culture, a different race, ever how you want to put it, the work will never end. Even when they leave, it won't end, because they may have children that they bring to you, and it won't end there. So keep learning, keep evolving, keep changing, and more importantly, keep growing. And when you do these things, then love will become enough, because all of the ingredients that go into that love relationship, the ideas of determination, perseverance, and dedication, will help you make it through the challenging and tough times that you might have. It will help them be able to navigate those times as well, and it'll help them feel like they are someone who their parents get. And not only get, but accept. Think about these things. If you have any questions, bring them to our next meeting. It's fertile ground for discussion. I'd be glad to go over this when we're in person again. You all have